Hello everybody, Cub fan here with a top 20 video. And reason I got the idea for this is actually it's not my idea, but I am a huge fan of lists. Top 10 cards, top 10. I even did a video earlier of my top 10 favorite Chicago Cub cards. And I even like watching NFL Network when they do top 10 linebackers or top 10 quarterbacks or any kind of list show I really like to watch. I'm a big fan of lists. And I recently watched Silver Jackify's updated top 50 baseball cards. And if you have not seen that yet, I highly recommend it. Go check out his video. His cards are ridiculous. His list is sick. So that's why I'm only doing a top 20 because my cards don't really compare to him. And I actually had a lot of fun putting this together because I have to be a little subjective because I am a Cub fan. The majority of my collection is Chicago Cubs, but I do collect Hall of Famers, Hall of Fame vintage, Hall of Fame rookie cards, as well as All-Star rookie cards of current and past players. So I'm pretty diverse, but my main focus is my Chicago Cubs. So without any ado, here is my list. Here's number 20, and this is the only modern card on the list, which is this 2014 Bowman Chrome Chris Bryant, and this is a prospect card of Chris Bryant, and he is my current Chicago Cub man crush. This guy's an absolute stud. Love to watch him play and expect great things from him for years to come. At number 19 is this 74 Mike Schmidt. And the reason why this card made the list is because this was my actual very first big vintage purchase. Purchased this card when I was 14 years old. Mike Schmidt was still, he had just retired, but his cards were still just super popular, and I was a big fan of his back in the day, and so I really like that card, real near and dear to my heart. At number 18, this is 55 Don Zimmer rookie card. Just a really nice card. I was always a big fan of Don Zimmer, former coach of the Chicago Cubs, bench coach of the Yankees through a lot of their championship years. But this guy just put on one heck of a career through the major leagues. I mean, this is 55. So you got to expect a couple years in the minors, and then, all the way up to the time of his death, putting in with the big leaguers. So just decades of service in the major leagues. Put him on the stand. So at number 17 is this 84 Fleer Don Mattingly. And Donnie Baseball had to make the list because as a kid, everybody wanted Don Mattingly. And as a kid, I had the 84 Tops, but some of my friends had the 84 Donruss and even the 84 Fleer, and just a really cool card, iconic card. Donnie Baseball, gotta love it. So at number 16. And I'm a little embarrassed, but you got to have a list. If you're going to have a list, you got to have Mantle. And I'm a little embarrassed because this is actually my only Mantle card. My only Mantle vintage card. And this was actually purchased by my wife. But it's a great card. It's got 3 Hall of Famers. Killebrew, Mays, and Mantle. But there it is, 68 Mantle. Number 15, 89 Griffey. I don't have to say a lot about this card. Everybody knows this card. Iconic card. Never had this as a kid, but I had, better yet, to have it as an adult. So there it is. Got to put Griffey on the list. At number 14, 78 Paul Molitor rookie. Once again, just another iconic card, Hall of Famer. Should be 2 Hall of Famers. Trammell should be in the Hall of Fame as well too. Hopefully, Veterans Committee will elect him. But the outstanding players, outstanding cards. 78 Molitor. At number 13, if you're going to have Molitor, you got to have Murray. As Topps 85-401 says, Eddie motherfucking Murray. There he is. At number 12, 79 Ozzie Smith. And I really like this one. Centering on it is decent. These are just atrocious on centering. It was really hard to find a centered copy of this one, so I had to pay a little bit more for this. But Ozzie Smith, Hall of Fame shortstop. Love the backflips. Just a great card, great player. At number 11, love me some Ricky. 1980 Topps, Ricky Henderson. Everybody loves Ricky. Ricky loves Ricky. But you can't have a top 20 list without Ricky. At number 10, here's the top 10. 75 Robin Yount. Just another iconic card. Love the 75s. Loved Yount. Just recently got a autograph picture of Yount. Thanks to Carter's Kids. Love you, bud. Thank you. But here it is, 75 Yount, number 10. Oops. Can't have the Yount without the Brett. So at number 9, the 75 George Brett. Just another beautiful card. Great player. There it is. Number 9, 75 Brett. Gotta love these stands. Gotta love my fumble fingers too. Alright, number 8. 62 Lou Brock rookie. Love the coloring on this. What could have been, Lou? What could have been if you would have stayed a Cubby? But still, Hall of Fame rookie card, 62 Lou Brock. So that brings us to number 7. You saw this on another video, but 1960 Carl Yastrzemski rookie. Just absolutely love this card. Another great Hall of Famer. Triple Crown winner. There you go, Yankees cards. I know how you love Yaz. And number 6. 68 Johnny Bench. Another great card, great corners. Centering's a little bad, a little off left to right. But love this card. 68 Bench. Beautiful card. Alright, it brings us to number 5. And before I show these cards, I know that these cards are in the 4 screw downs, and I know that's bad for cards, but I actually received the next 3 cards from my great uncle when I was 12 years old, and I've kept them in my collection Never took them out of the screw downs. This is how I received them from him, and they just mean a lot to me, and they will always stay in my collection. So I know that the screw downs are harmful for them, but they are mine, and they will stay in my collection. But 55 Hank Aaron. Just love this card. I know I keep saying that, but you know, they're my cards. I love them all. So, just a really cool card. There it is. 55 Aaron. The world's coming crashing down around me. Sorry about that. That brings us to number 4. $55 Banks. I got that from my great uncle Doug. He was a baseball collector, and when I started collecting, he said every collector's got to have a good Hall of Fame vintage collection. So he handed me 3 cards, and I've had them ever since. 55 Banks. Mr. Cub goes in the stand. And then for number 3, the last of the 55s, 55 Killebrew rookie. Thank you, Uncle Doug. You gotta love that card. 55 Killebrew. Sorry, Hank. Going to the table. Now there's where my Chicago Cub and my Rhino comes into play. Number 2, and this is actually because this is my favorite card, my second favorite card, but the 81 Oklahoma City 89ers Ryne Sandberg. Absolutely one of my favorite cards in my collection. Just a great card. And that brings us to my number 1 card. And actually, this is my number 1 for one reason. And it's a 60 Roger Maris. And centering's bad, top to bottom. Corners are okay, but there's a story behind this card. In 2005 and 6, I deployed to Iraq, and while I was there, I would email with my wife all the time and talk about life in general. And I told her one of the things I missed my cards, being able to go to the card shop, the card shows, and stuff like that. So a week later, I get a package in the mail, and this card was in there, and I was just floored. I mean, she went out of her way, went to the LCS, picked this card up for me, sent it to me, and I carried this card with me everywhere I went because it was special to me. It just meant a lot. So there it is, 1960 Roger Maris, not in the best of shape. But this one right here will always be my favorite card. Alright, well thanks for watching. Sorry. I hope you made it through the disaster of me knocking down my table and knocking everything over. But thanks for watching.